She is not measuring how loud your confidence sounds. She is measuring how steady it feels. Emotional regulation is the silent language that determines whether she leans in or slowly pulls away. A man can speak boldly, dress sharply, and carry himself with visible self-assurance, yet still feel internally unstable. And women feel that instability immediately. Confidence that depends on validation, attention, or control creates tension in her nervous system. It signals unpredictability. Emotional regulation, on the other hand, signals safety and strength at the same time. When a man is emotionally regulated, he does not react impulsively to disagreement. He does not crumble when challenged. He does not become cold when she creates space. He remains steady. His tone does not shift into defensiveness. His body language does not tighten in insecurity. His presence does not become heavy with ego. That steadiness communicates something powerful without words. I am in control of myself. And self-control is deeply attractive because it implies protection without aggression and leadership without dominance. A woman's nervous system is constantly scanning for emotional consistency. This is not drama, it is biology. Historically, emotional instability in a man meant danger, unpredictability, and risk. That imprint still lives in the subconscious. So when she senses a man who can remain grounded during intensity, her body relaxes. Relaxation creates openness. Openness creates connection. Connection creates desire. Men often mistake emotional intensity for passion. They believe that jealousy proves care, that possessiveness proves desire, that dramatic reactions prove depth. But intensity without regulation feels chaotic, and chaos forces a woman into self-protection mode. She may argue more. She may emotionally withdraw. She may take control of situations because she does not trust his emotional steadiness. Regulated masculinity feels different. It feels calm but powerful. It feels assertive but not forceful. It feels present but not overwhelming. When a man can sit in silence comfortably, when he can hear criticism without collapsing, when he can lead without raising his voice, something profound happens. She begins to trust him emotionally. And when emotional trust forms, attraction deepens in a way that is sustainable. Emotional regulation is also what prevents a man from chasing validation. A regulated man does not beg for reassurance. He does not need constant proof of loyalty. He understands his value without broadcasting it. That quiet certainty creates polarity. She feels free to be expressive, emotional, fluid, because he is grounded. This is why so many men misunderstand attraction. They focus on performance, dominance, or surface-level confidence. But women are reading something deeper. They are asking, can this man handle pressure? Can he handle me at my emotional depth? Can he remain stable if life becomes difficult? When the answer is yes, her attraction is not forced. It unfolds naturally because she is not responding to arrogance. She is responding to emotional mastery. Emotional safety is not softness. It is structure. It is the invisible architecture that allows a woman to open without fear of collapse. When she feels emotionally safe, she is not becoming weak. She is choosing to lower the armor she has been forced to wear in a world that constantly tests her intuition. Most men think safety means being nice, agreeable, passive, overly accommodating. That is not safety. That is uncertainty disguised as politeness. Emotional safety is built when a man is grounded enough that his mood does not swing with inconvenience, his tone does not sharpen under stress, and his affection does not disappear when his ego feels bruised. A woman studies consistency more than charm. She is observing whether your words and your nervous system match. If you say you care but withdraw when things feel intense, she registers that contradiction. If you claim to respect her but subtly punish her independence, she feels the tension. Emotional safety is destroyed in subtle inconsistencies, long before dramatic betrayals ever occur. For a woman, surrender is psychological before it is physical. She cannot relax into connection if she is subconsciously calculating emotional risk. If she feels she must manage your reactions, tiptoe around your pride, or shrink herself to maintain peace, she will never fully open. She may stay, she may smile, but she will not soften. Softening is expensive. It requires trust that her vulnerability will not be weaponized later. It requires certainty that her emotions will not be mocked, dismissed, or used against her during conflict. It requires knowing that when she expresses fear or doubt, she will be met with steadiness instead of defensiveness. This is why emotional safety is magnetic. When a man can hold space for her emotions without trying to fix, dominate, or escape them, something shifts. Her nervous system relaxes, And when her nervous system relaxes, intimacy deepens naturally. Not because she is trying to impress him, not because she feels obligated, but because she feels secure enough to reveal more of herself. Security does not mean predictability without strength. It means reliability with presence. A man who can lead while remaining emotionally aware creates a container where feminine energy thrives. She does not have to overthink. She does not have to guard every word. She does not have to remain hyper-independent. Without emotional safety, a woman becomes guarded. Guarded women test more, argue more, withdraw more, not because they enjoy conflict, but because their instincts are signaling caution. When safety is present, that defensive energy dissolves. Playfulness increases, affection becomes more natural, desire stabilizes. Many men chase intensity, believing drama equals passion, but real depth is quiet. It is built in the moments where she expresses something vulnerable and you remain calm. In the moments where tension rises and you do not escalate. In the moments where she pulls back slightly and you do not panic or chase. Emotional safety is not dramatic. It is disciplined. And when a woman feels emotionally safe with you, she does not feel controlled. She feels free. Free to be expressive. Free to be emotional. Free to surrender without fear of losing herself. That freedom is what transforms attraction into devotion. Before a woman invests deeply, she observes quietly. Not because she is calculating in a manipulative way, but because her emotional survival depends on discernment. Stability is not something she assumes, it is something she verifies. And that verification happens long before commitment is spoken out loud. Most men misunderstand this phase. They interpret shifts in her behavior as mood swings or games. But what is really happening is assessment. She is studying how you handle uncertainty, how you respond when plans change, how you react when she disagrees, how you behave when you don't immediately get what you want. These moments are data to her. When she challenges a perspective, she is not trying to compete. She is measuring whether your confidence is fragile. If you become defensive, dismissive, or subtly irritated, she notes it. If you remain calm, curious, and steady, she notes that too. Emotional reactions reveal more than rehearsed charm ever could. If she pulls back slightly, becomes less available, less expressive, it is often subconscious calibration. She is watching to see if you spiral into insecurity. Do you suddenly over-pursue? Do you demand reassurance? Do you attempt to regain control through pressure? Or do you remain composed, respecting space without withdrawing your presence? Instability shows up in urgency. Stability shows up in patience. A woman does not want to feel like she is standing on emotional quicksand. If your mood depends on her attention, she will feel responsible for regulating you. And the moment she feels responsible for your emotional state, attraction weakens. Desire cannot grow where she feels she must parent your insecurity. Testing for stability is not about perfection. She is not looking for a man who never feels emotion. She is looking for a man who can experience emotion without being ruled by it. Can you feel disappointment without lashing out? Can you feel desire without becoming desperate? Can you feel tension without escalating conflict? When a man lacks stability, he seeks constant confirmation. He overanalyzes small changes. He interprets independence as rejection. That volatility triggers caution in her nervous system. But when he is stable, something entirely different happens. She begins to trust that his presence is consistent, not conditional. Consistency builds depth. If she sees that you remain grounded when she is emotional, that you do not compete with her vulnerability, that you do not collapse under pressure, she begins to lean in. Not dramatically, gradually, because stability creates safety, and safety allows investment. This is why some men are physically attractive yet emotionally short-lived in a woman's life. They generate excitement but not security, and excitement without security feels temporary. A woman may enjoy the spark, but she will not anchor herself to unpredictability. Stability is quiet power. It does not announce itself. It reveals itself over time, through patterns, through reactions, through restraint. When she realizes that your composure is not an act, that your leadership does not disappear when challenged, she stops testing, not because she is done evaluating, but because she has gathered enough evidence. And once stability is proven, investment becomes intentional. Presence is rare. Real presence, the kind that is undistracted, unshaken, and fully embodied, is even rarer. And composure is what protects that presence under pressure. Together they create polarity, the invisible tension that fuels attraction without force. Most men believe attraction is built through effort, saying the right thing, doing the right thing, performing the right gestures. But polarity is not created through performance. It is created through energetic contrast. When masculine energy is steady, grounded, and contained, it gives feminine energy space to move, express, and expand. Presence means you are not mentally elsewhere. You are not scanning for approval. You are not strategizing your next move. You are not distracted by your own insecurities. You are there fully in the moment. Women feel that instantly. It is disarming, because most interactions in modern life are fragmented. Half attention, divided focus, hidden agendas. When a man is present, his attention feels intentional. His silence feels calm, not awkward. His eye contact feels steady, not invasive. His body language communicates certainty without stiffness. That grounded awareness creates emotional gravity. She feels seen without being examined. Composure amplifies that effect, because presence without composure can turn into intensity without control. Composure is what keeps masculine energy contained. It is the ability to remain centered when emotions rise, when tension appears, when flirtation becomes charged, when disagreement surfaces. A composed man does not rush to fill silence. He does not overreact to playful teasing. He does not lose his rhythm when she tests his frame. He holds steady. That steadiness creates contrast to feminine fluidity. She can be expressive, animated, emotionally dynamic, because he is not competing with her energy. He is anchoring it. Polarity thrives on difference, not sameness. If both energies are reactive, tension becomes conflict. If both energies are passive, attraction fades. But when one energy is grounded and the other is free to move, there is balance. She feels both the spark and the stability. This is why over-pursuing weakens attraction. It collapses polarity. When a man chases excessively, seeks constant reassurance, or floods her with attention to secure control, he erodes the space where tension naturally builds. Attraction needs room to breathe. Presence provides that room. Composure protects it. There is also strength in restraint. When a man can desire without grabbing, lead without overpowering, and express interest without desperation, it signals abundance. He is not trying to prove worth. He is embodying it. That embodiment creates quiet magnetism. Women respond deeply to emotional steadiness during intensity. If flirtation becomes charged and he remains calm, it feels powerful. If she becomes slightly distant and he remains composed, it feels secure. If she challenges him and he smiles instead of bristles, it feels confident. Presence says, "I am here." Composure says, "I am unshaken." Together, they create the kind of polarity that does not need theatrics. It does not rely on manipulation. It builds naturally through contrast, grounded masculine energy meeting expressive feminine energy. And when that dynamic is balanced, attraction stops feeling forced. It becomes instinctive. Words are surface. Energy is signal. A man can memorize perfect lines, study communication tactics, and rehearse emotional intelligence, but if his internal state does not match his language, a woman will feel the disconnect immediately. Because long before she processes your sentences logically, her nervous system is processing your tone, pacing, micro-expressions, breathing, and subtle tension. Energy speaks first. When you say, "I'm confident," but your body is rigid and your reactions are defensive, she senses insecurity. When you say, "Take your time," but your energy feels impatient, she senses pressure. When you say, "I don't mind," but your tone carries resentment, she senses emotional misalignment. And misalignment creates distrust. Women are highly attuned to incongruence. It is not mystical, it is adaptive. Historically, reading emotional cues accurately meant safety. That instinct still operates beneath conscious awareness. So she may not always articulate why something feels off, but she will feel it. This is why authenticity is magnetic, not forced vulnerability, not exaggerated stoicism, but real alignment between what you feel, what you say, and how you show up. When your internal state matches your external behavior, your energy feels clean, predictable, grounded. If you are centered, she feels steadiness. If you are anxious, she feels urgency. If you are resentful, she feels tension. If you are peaceful, she feels calm. Energy transfers faster than language. Many men focus on convincing. They try to explain their intentions, defend their character, or persuade her perception. But persuasion is unnecessary when energy is clear. When a man is internally secure, he does not need to over-communicate his value. It radiates in how he moves, how he listens, how he pauses. Listening, especially, reveals energy. If you listen to respond, she feels calculation. If you listen to understand, she feels presence. The difference is subtle but powerful. One feels transactional, the other feels connective. Your relationship with yourself determines the energy you project. If you are at war internally, chasing validation, doubting your worth, suppressing emotion, that conflict leaks into your interactions. It shows up in overcompensation, in jealousy, in the need to control outcomes. But when you are internally aligned, something changes. You do not grasp, you do not rush, you do not manipulate silence to create artificial tension. Your energy is patient, intentional, stable, and stability is seductive. Because when a woman feels emotionally safe and energetically understood, she relaxes. Not because she is persuaded, but because her intuition is satisfied. Her subconscious registers congruence. There is no hidden friction, no subtle threat. She is not responding to your script. She is responding to your state. This is why two men can say the exact same sentence, and one creates attraction while the other creates discomfort. The words are identical. The energy is not. When your presence is honest, your tone is grounded, and your actions align with your intentions, she does not need proof. She feels truth. And energy that feels true will always be more powerful than words designed to impress.